First lesson, I learned
Uh,
I learned reading.
reading, yeah, okay. Reading.
Yes, and
Uh,
second lesson, um I learned writing.
oh, writing, good. Mhm.
Yes, and now is third lesson.
Yeah, okay. Third lesson is writing for today. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Cece, we'll read some stories in just a minute. We're just warming up right now. So thank you,
Yes.
Cece. Let's talk to some more students. New, are you there? Hello, New. Is New here?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you, New?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you for your homework. I'm looking at
Um,
the homework now. These students are funny. Somebody, wait, who is this? Okay. Everybody gave me their homework. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, thanks, New. Fam, are you there?
yes,
How are you today, Fam?
I'm good.
Yeah. Did you have a good Saturday?
Mm, yes.
Yeah. What did you do today?
Um, I have a competition at school.
Ah, okay. Hey, New Yen Min said, I caught a lizard in a big field. Okay, Min, now I understand, New Yen. Hey, Fam, New Yen, what was the competition?
Swim.
Swimming, huh? Are you a good swimmer, Fam?
Mm, I don't know.
Yeah. Was there a champion in the swimming?
Third place.
Oh, third place is pretty good. Yeah, the last time I was swimming was last year. I swam with a group of students. They were very good swimmers, but my swimming became weak because I'm getting old. So I need to practice more. Yeah. All right. Kuang, are you there, Mr. Kuang? Hello, Kuang. Kuang, are you there? Kuang, Kuang. All right. How about Tintin? Are you there, Tintin?
Yeah.
How are you today, Tintin?
I'm fine.
Tintin, I always ask you the same question. It's October in Germany now. Are the
Yes.
trees are the trees changing colors?
Slowly. They're starting to become yellow, but they're not falling off yet.
Do German people really love October?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they have that Oktoberfest where they all drink beer. And my nephew was drinking beer last year. He went to Germany's Oktoberfest. He's a funny guy. All right. And so, Tintin, thank you for your writing work today on that horrible guy, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like how you spelled his name with just the star in the middle, because in Germany they don't even like to say his name. They really are embarrassed about it, I guess, or something. Okay. Let's see. Do we have Draffy? Are you here, Mr. Draffy? Draffy?
Yes, I'm
How are
here.
you? How are you today?
Nice today.
Bad today. Why, Draffy?
Uh, nice, not bad.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. Okay. Did you do anything special?
No.
No. Did you stay home?
No.
Where did you go?
I went to my school.
Did you study or do a competition?
I have a competition.
Yeah. What was the competition?
It's about chess.
Jazz?
Yes.
Music, jazz music?
No, chess.
Oh, chess, CHESS, chess. Okay. Are you a good chess player?
Okay.
You're an okay chess player. Draft, you remember on Sunday's night class, there were three boys, John from Hanoi and Tim and another student. They love chess. Naked.
Uh,
Do you
I
remember that?
think that I forgot about that.
They write stories about chess all the time and they describe their chess movements, but it's difficult for me because they use the chess code. Mm. Okay, you guys, are you ready to start? It's 7:30, so let's start. Here we go. I'm gonna go to let me see, I'll go to the writing. I like these stories. There are 3 stories had similar titles, so these are really fascinating. We have I'm not sure how to say the names. We have Ira, we have Leora, and Yara. You guys all have these similar names. And these are wonderful fantasy stories where you describe a character, which is exactly what we wanted you to do for tonight, right? And so we have Aira. Who wrote the story of Aira? Aira, it's Draffy. Hey, Draffy, here you go. Let me go to Draffy. And Draffy, can you read your story? It's a nice story.
Okay, Era, the girl of magic and hope. Era is a young girl with shiny silver hair that glows softly under the moonlight. Her eyes are blue, deep like the ocean, and they look like they can see into magical places. She is tall and thin, with long arms and legs, but she is still very strong. Eva lives by herself in a small, quiet house deep in the forest. She spends her day taking care of animals that are hurt and learning new magic spells from old books. Her magic is special, but sometimes it surprises her by doing things identically of her will or intentions, like magic fires or wind appear. Even though she is alone, Ira never feels sad. She is always hopeful that one day she will meet a friend who will understand her. Ira is a kind and helpful person, but she also has a mystery side that makes people curious about her.
Really nice, Draffy. Excellent. I just added that independent of her will or intentions because she doesn't know if the magic is going to make a fire or wind. It works by itself. And that's a really cool detail, Draffy. That's what makes a story good because it becomes unpredictable when the magic will work by itself. There are all these fantasy stories where that happens, and it makes for some really interesting developments in the story. So thanks. Really wonderful, Draffy. All right. So that's Draffy, the story of Aira. Aira. All right. Here's another one like that Aira type story. We have Leora. Okay. So let me just take this one down and put Leora. And Leora is Dot. Are you here, Dot? Hey, Dot. Good to see you.
Yes, yes,
Dot, would you like to read it?
yes.
Okay. Oh, is it microphone problems? Dot, I could read you if you want. Dot, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, try reading now. It's quieter.
Yes.
Okay, it seems to be a problem, Dot. So let me read. Leora.
I mean,
Leora.
I cannot see.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's not on share. I'm sorry about that, Dot. Here we go. Dot, here we go. All right, sorry about that, Dot. There you go. Leora was a wanderer.
So wanderer with a mysterious task. Her long silvery hair fell like moonlight over her shoulders. Her emerald green eyes held the secrets of countless worlds, making others curious but wary. She wore a deep violet cloak embroidered with golden runes that shimmered when she whispered incantations. Despite her ethereal beauty, her face carried faint scars, remnants of battles fought to protect the innocent. Animals followed her, sensing her kindness and the magic that pulsed through her wings. Her laughter raised but yet soft like the chiming of distant bells. Top Viola carried an air of sadness. Her determination to bring peace made her a beacon of hope for all who crosses her path.
All right, very nice. Very nice. Almost no corrections because it was done so well. Dot, the story of Leora. Beautiful descriptions, by the way. And again, Leora and Drappy were successful because they described the character really well. So thank you for that. Both Dat and Drappy, really nice work. And now there's final one is the Nyara of the Elder Grove. Again, I love these stories. You have Leora, Era, and Nyara. Okay, and this is by Pham. So Pham, if you can read for us, I'll do the share again. This time I won't forget to do it. Okay, Pham, here we go. Great story. And there you go.
Nira, Niara of the Elder Grove, guardian of the enchanted forest. In the heart of the enchanted Elder Grove forest lives Niara, a spirit elf with cutting silver hair that shimmers like moonlight. Her emerald green eyes flecked with gold, glint with mischief, as she weaves intricate spells using the ancient language of the trees. Adorned in a gown of woven leaves and blossoms, she moves gracefully, her bare feet barely making a sound on the forest floor. Niara carries a staff crafted of the rarest wood, topped with a glowing crystal that pulses with her magic. Despite her playful demeanor, she possesses an unyielding courage, often venturing into the realm of humans to protect her beloved forest from encroaching darkness. Her laughter, like the tinkling of silver bells, brings joy to all creators. Yet her fierce loyalty can ignite a wildfire when her friends are retained. With a heart as vast as the sky and a spirit unbound by fear, Niara embodies the magic of the world around her.
Nice, really nice. Did you see you use this word here, Pham? Ignite. This is a great word to learn, everybody. Ignite means to start a fire. So you can ignite a wildfire when her friends feel threatened. You can start a fire. But you can use ignite other ways, like ignite your imagination means to really turn on your imagination. All right, so I just want to do those 3 samples with really good character development. All 3 students really understood the lesson and did a great job with it. So thank you to all of you for that. And next, I would like to start tonight's main lesson because it's a little challenging, but it's interesting. I think you guys will really like this. And of course, I'll need some people to read for us because you enjoy reading, is what I understand from teaching you. I can see you enjoy reading. So let me get it ready. And we'll start here at the top. It's kind of long, you know, some pictures and stuff. Okay, so tonight's lesson is what's your point of view? And I'll read just the first part here. In a story, the point of view is who tells the story. The writer writes the story as all of you have done. You guys have already been narrators. But have you thought about who a narrator in a story is? Sometimes the narrator is never named. By certain clues, you might conclude that this is a classmate of all the characters in the story, about a crazy class in primary school. Oftentimes, the narrator, the person telling the story, will step forward and tell who they are or identify themselves. Good writers wait a little bit before they do this. Here's a famous example where a narrator does not reveal his name until after chapter 1. In J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye, the narrator identifies himself as Holden Caulfield fairly early in the novel. In the first chapter, Holden starts recounting his story from a mental facility, but it isn't until chapter 2 that he clearly reveals his full name. Holden mentions his name during a conversation with Mr. Spencer, his former history teacher at Pensy Prep. As Holden reflects on his life and his experiences, he begins narrating a series of events that led him to where he is. By this point, the reader understands that Holden is the protagonist and the one telling his own story. But the protagonist, the man telling his own story, the young guy, he's only 17 years old. He's also called an anti-hero because a lot of the parts of Holden aren't so good. So remember, we were talking about character development. Holden describes himself, he has a red hunter's cap that people use to go deer hunting in places in New York and other states in the Northeast of America. And he is holding his book walking across the school campus. He also smokes at age 17, which isn't such a good idea. But some of my other students in the writing classes said that some of the secondary students smoke in Vietnam too. It's a problem. Right. So the next part, the delayed and casual revelation of his name fits with the novel's tone or feeling, reflecting Holden's tendency to narrate in a non-linear and personal style. But notice Holden uses you on page 1. He breaks a lot of rules on purpose because he loves breaking rules. He's not a very good guy. Notice he is smoking. He's also wearing the red hunting cap, which looks kind of strange as part of his school uniform. And he wears this for about 3 days. He walks around New York about a week before Christmas in 1949. He can't go home to his parents' nice house to tell them he has been kicked out of school again. So he waits until he sees his sister at her primary school. He wants to tell her the news, and her name is Phoebe. And so in the story, Phoebe is the famous little sister. So if you see, this is actually the first page right here, you guys, and he writes, if you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know. So he's using you in his narration, which is kind of unusual, you guys, to talk directly to the reader. And that's the book title called Catcher in the Rye. Okay, so let me get somebody to read. Pham, you're a good reader. Would you like to read this part here?
Yes.
Okay, Pham, if you can read, like right there.
This book is about a teenager named Holland Caulfield who is failing all his school subjects. He has already been asked to leave 3 very rich private schools because his grades are so bad, and he does not care about his classes. While his parents are kind of rich, Holden's life has been terrible. 2 years before the story starts, in about 1949 in New York, after World War II, Holden's brother dies of cancer. Holden loved his brother and he was so upset. He smashed all the windows out in their family's big garage next to their nice house.
Yeah, he just went crazy. It's really terrible. It's a very sad story, you guys. He's a sad person. Let's see, Fook, would you like to read? Fook is a good reader also. Hey,
Yes.
Fook, how are you?
I'm great.
Great. Would you like to read the next blue part?
Yes.
Okay.
This book has a shock when it came out, and many high schools refused to allow it to be used in their classes because they thought Goldham Harden
Yeah.
a terrible character.
Hmm.
A terrible character is known as an anti-hero. Golden lies a lot. He's afraid of everything. Actually, after his brother's death, we feel sorry for him. Then he thinks he's in trouble. We also know through his narration that he hates most of the people he meets. He calls them phonies, which mean uninteresting people trying to take themselves sound important or interesting. The story's narration and setting become even more complicated because by the end of the book, we find out Golden is writing all of this from a California hospital for people to mental health problems.
Yeah.
His older brother lived in California, and Goham is sent to be near him because New York is too strict for him.
Yeah, Holden's mother and father are kind of rich, so they send him to a private small hospital for like rich people who have problems and they just need like 2 to 3 months rest. And they have doctors there who talk to them and they try to get the people not to act so crazy. But that's a rich private hospital. The ones owned by the government are pretty bad places because the people inside are really crazy and do violent things. Where Holden is, he can visit his older brother who writes movies for Hollywood with famous actors, and he also works on books. And so his oldest brother, feels sorry for him, so he helps Holden. His brother drives a nice car. He's kind of rich too. And so Holden is writing all of this in the hospital. His older brother probably told him to write to try to get healthier because he's had such a terrible life doing things. Okay, now this is a little bit more challenging. Thanks, Fook, for reading for us. Do we have Tom? Are you here, Tom? Hello, Tom. Can Tom help us?
Yes,
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Tom, can you read this part here, the blue box?
Holden used the first person signature, I, me, my, mine, for his narration. As I have mentioned many times, in writing which do not use you, and the best use for the first word singular, I, me, my, and mine,
Yeah.
and the first person plural, we, us, our. This example isn't from Holland Garfield character in Carter in Rhyme, but it's a good narration for you using the first person point of view. It's a story where a lie is being told, just like Hawkins does a lot.
Yeah, Holden lies a lot. So this story is not Holden's story, but there's a lot of kind of like lying in this story that I used a textbook to help me write this. So let's see, is Hui Jia here? Hui, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Hey,
here.
Hui, how are you today?
I'm great.
Great. Hui, you also are a good reader. Would you like to read this part here?
Why were you so late coming home from school, George? Mom asked. I told her I was wearing sandals today and I hit my toe against the table leg in the library. I holler loudly because it really hurt, but all the students laughed at me and the teacher got angry at me for shouting so loudly. I looked at the ceiling. I looked out the window. I looked everywhere but at Mom. How could I tell her that I had gotten in trouble at school? Maybe she would ask me too many questions like, did you go to the nurse to see if she thought your injury to your toe was serious? But I couldn't tell her the truth. Finally, I began to tell the real story little by little. I explained, well, actually, I stayed after school a little longer than the other students because I had to have a talk with Mr. Hutchins. Of course, Mom asked me what we talked about, and I had to tell her about being caught by the teacher copying copying
Mhm.
someone else's English report. I could see Mom getting very upset.
Nice reading, Hui. Really good. So did you guys notice that I put all of the I, me's, and mine's and we? There's even a we here, which is it's using first person, but plural, meaning we. So we talked about. So nice work on that. Really good, Hui. All right. So this boy is kind of starts by telling a lie, saying he injured his toe by hitting it, but that's not really why he stayed after school late. He had to talk to Mr. Hutchins about copying the report. Mr. Hutchins might be angry, you see, right? Hey, CC, are you here still? CC.
Ủa, còn một cái lá con muốn lên con muốn đổ ngoài cho cô với nhá.
I'm here.
Okay, CC, would you like to read? Well, I'll read the directions. Now, in this sample, we know the name of the narrator is George because he tells us this in the first line. And notice that also he is using the first person singular, I or my for my toe, and ask me too many questions. So he uses I, me, my a lot. And so what if we want to try not being George? Let's switch to the third person singular, he, him, and his, to try a new way to tell the same story. This is the same story using him, his, and he. So there you go. If you can read that one, CC. Let's here. There we
Why
go.
were you so late coming home from school, George? His mom asked. George told her he was wearing sandals today, and he hit his toe against the table leg in the library. He hollered loudly because it really hurt, but all the students looked at him, and the teacher got angry at him for shouting so loudly. He looked at the ceiling, he looked out the window, he looked everywhere but at Mom. How could he tell her that he had gotten in trouble at school? Maybe she would ask him too many questions like, did you go to the nurse to see if she thought your injury to your toe was serious? But he couldn't tell her the truth. Finally, he began to tell the real story little by little. He explained, well, actually, I stayed after school a little longer than the older student because I had to have a talk with Mr. Hutchins. Of course, his mom asked what he talked about, and he had to tell her about being caught by the teacher copying someone else's English report. He could see Mom getting very upset.
Nice, CC, really good. So did you guys notice in these quotation marks here and here, when they switch to the quotation marks, it goes from he, him, and his. It becomes I had to talk with Mr. Hutchins because the story then in the quotations is going back to this first style of I, me, mine. It's kind of difficult to do, you guys, but it makes for a really good story. It creates a really nice narrative style when you're telling a story, either with your voice or reading it or writing it. So it's okay. That's called quoted speech in the story. Now, I wrote for your homework today, try this exercise. Imagine or pretend that you are George's mother listening to his story. What are you thinking? So do you see we switched from George's telling the story, and then we switched to he, the third person, and now we're going into George's mother's view of the story. It's kind of interesting, right? Can you write one paragraph where you use narration using I or he? Try to keep it all in one pronoun style. But if we use I or he, this actually should be she because that's his mother, right? Try to keep it all in one pronoun style, though, which means don't mix I and I for she too many times, right? Here's an example. George's mom stood in the kitchen drinking a quick cup of coffee when she noticed George come in quietly. She thought, usually George comes home and calls out to me to say hello, but today he is completely quiet. I wonder what's going on. George's mom greeted him with, is everything all right, George? George cleared his throat and began relaying his story. Things were kind of difficult today, Mom. Now you guys continue. We have about 30 minutes. I use the third person here with his mom said, she said. Can you guys use the chat? Does everyone know how to use the chat box here? For example, Min wrote a story about catching a big lizard in a big field, all right? So what you could do is start your homework today in class, and we'll add details onto this story. And then I will type all your answers that I see in chat. I will put here in the share screen. And then you don't have to do much homework. You just have to do one final copy that you can copy from the files that I leave in Zalo tonight. Okay, you guys? So do you understand? So take 15, 20 minutes and you can write your story in the chat box. Okay, so let me put that here. I'll leave a message. And this is a message. You can finish the one paragraph story here in the chat box. And I will write it in the page you see now. Then I will upload this file to Zalo, and you can copy your part for homework because you already did the hard work in class. Does that sound good? So there's my explanation. You can finish this paragraph here in the chat box, and I will write it in the page you see now. Then I will upload this file to Zalo, and you can copy your part for homework because you already did the hard work in class. Cece, what do you think? Do you understand the directions? Cece there. Cece. Hello, Cece. Is Cece here? No, Cece. Hey,
I'm
Draft.
here. I'm here.
Okay, so Cece, do you see? I will take this here. And then can you finish this paragraph with your own style, whatever you want to say? And you can put it in chat. You can finish this here in chat. Do you know how to use the chat box, Cece?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So try to write 5 more sentences to make a nice paragraph for this story. It starts with, George's mom stood in the kitchen drinking a quick cup of coffee, and when she noticed George coming quietly, she thought usually George comes home and calls out to me to say hello, but today he is completely quiet. I wonder what's going on. George's mom greeted him with, is everything all right, George? George cleared his throat and began relaying his story. Things were kind of difficult today, Mom. What does he say next, Cece?
Oh no, it's hard.
Okay. So try writing it in chat, okay? And we'll see some other students, what they have to say. Okay, so remember, everyone, you can do your work in chat. Just put it in chat. Min understands to put it in chat. Thanks, Min. Kuang, do you understand? Now, you guys, here's the story. You could change this story where George has to talk to Mr. Hutchins. You can create a new story if you want. I don't mind. Draffy, what do you think? Draffy, are you there? Mr. Draffy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Draffy, do you think you could add a little bit more, like 3 or 4 more sentences to make a nice paragraph? You can do it your own style. So you would start right here. Things were difficult today, Mom. Maybe then you can write.
George started by
And then Draffy, this can be anything you want.
telling his mother about the dog.
About what?
The dog?
The dorp?
Yes.
Can you put it in chat? I don't understand. It sounds like dorp. It sounds like you're saying dorp. So try putting that in chat, and then we'll know Draffy. Okay. So Draffy, while you do that, I'll ask Hui. Oh, okay. A dog flies by the window. Draffy, do you really want to do that? Like, Draffy, do you want to make it like a fantasy story? A dog flies by the window. It's kind of funny, Draffy. You guys, I'm laughing because that completely changes the story, but it's kind of funny. The dog was blowing by the window. Okay, Tom, nice correction.
What I mean was the dog was blown. The,
Yes,
was blown through the window.
through the window. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, now do you think this is a true story or Tom and Draffy that George is telling his mother a crazy story? What do you guys think? Draffy, is it a true story about the dog or is he just telling his mom a strange story?
It's not real.
Okay, then you could write this. So, Draffy, what does his mother think?
Surprise.
Yeah. Okay, so what does she say to George, you guys? It's your choice. Anyone could add to this story. Hey, Min, are you here? Mr. Nguyen Min. Min, who told the story about the lizard. Catching a lizard today, Min. Min, what does the mother say when she hears the story of a dog flying through the window?
He say, like me. Need to tell us the truth. So,
You like that, Min?
yeah.
Okay, it's good. It's a good thing there. Now you can change it. You know, I put that George copied another kid's report at school. But if you guys want to change the story, it's okay to change it. Fam, how would you change the story? What do you think, Fam? What's the real story? What's the true story of George? All right, I don't see Fam. How about Fook? Are you there? Tintin raises. Hey, Tintin, what would you like to say?
I think George would say, sorry, Mom, I have written a few F's lately.
Okay. What subject?
Maybe like something very easy so his mom gets disappointed, but I'm thinking
Okay.
maybe something like math.
Yeah. And then what does she say? Math? So he says, I thought you loved math, right? All right, let's go. Let's see. We have New. You're here, New. New, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so he says, I like math. Math, but something happened. What happened that he got a bad F in math, like Tintin said?
Mm, mm, Um,
What do you think? You can think about it, New. Let's check with Dot. Dot, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, Dot, the mother says, I thought you were good at math. What does George say then?
Wait, can you repeat it?
Okay, so the mother says, George, you got some F's in your math test recently, but I thought you like math. What would George say like? What would you say to your mom if she said that?
Um,
By the way, shrug your shoulders like, I don't know, right? When you do that with your shoulders.
you may say, um, I don't like math.
Okay. Why is he beginning not to like math? Because like what do you think, Dot? Do you like that?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes they change teachers and the new teacher isn't so interesting. Okay. But then what does the mom say? Cece, what does the mother say then? Okay, so Cece, what do you think? Are you there, Cece? Hello, Cece.
I'm here.
Cece, what would the mother say then? She looks a little bit angry after George.
She said, um, you shouldn't hate math.
Yeah. Well, see,
The reason math change teacher is not invaluable. You can talk much with new math teachers.
nice. What do you think, Cece?
That's all.
All right, it's pretty good, Cece. I like it. Let's get one of our readers again. How about Hui? Are you there? Hui Jia. Hello, Hui.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Hui, you're a good reader. Can you read the story for us? Is it okay to read this much and a little bit more here?
George's mom stood in the kitchen drinking a quick cup of coffee when she noticed George come in quietly. She thought usually George comes home and calls out to me to say hello, but today he's completely quiet. I wonder what's going on. George's mom greeted him with Is everything all right, George? George cleared his throat and began relaying his story. Things were kind of difficult today, Mom. George started by telling his mother about the dog who flew by the window at school. Actually, the dog was flown through the window because of a typhoon. This was a terrible thing to see at school. Of course, this story was not real. His mother couldn't believe this story. She was really surprised. She looked at George and spoke. You need to tell the truth. George,
Mm.
George was silent for a moment, and then he cleared his throat and began to tell the truth. Actually, Mom, this is what happened. Sorry, Mom, but the truth is I've gotten some F's lately in a few of the more easy course, in math. George's mom responded, Math? I thought you loved math. George shrugged his
Yeah.
shoulder and answered back, I'm beginning not to like math because the school changed teachers and the new teacher isn't very interesting. His mother listened to all of this, and she did not seem very happy about hearing this news. She looked angrily at George and said, You shouldn't blame blame the teacher or hate math. The reason that the teacher is different is no excuse for getting F's.
And then a little more here, Hui.
Why don't you have a talk with this new teacher and see if you could tell him about making the class more exciting for the students?
Very nice. So you guys, the students have told me about Diary of a Wimpy Kid and other stories with characters who have problems. Like, for example, I told you the story here up above of this character, Holden Caulfield, who is famous in stories in America, The Catcher in the Rye. A lot of high school students read this. And then you read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and that's kind of funny too, about a kid who has a lot of problems. So we could use George as our character. And for our homework, if you could write 1 or 2 paragraphs, like a George story about these problems George is having, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And then use the narration style like George, he told his mother, and then the mother said, and then George said, all right? So let's get some ideas. We'll go down the list because we have about 15 minutes left. We can get some good story ideas. CC, do you like using this George character? You could pick your own character name if you want.
John,
How do you say it?
John.
Oh, that's funny. It's my friend's name, John. I just went out to lunch yesterday with him. And what kind of problems does John have?
John he was 15 years old, but he can't swim.
Ah, very good. Is he supposed to learn swimming at school?
Can you say again?
Is he supposed to learn swimming in primary or secondary school?
Secondary school.
He should have learned in secondary school.
Yes.
But what happened?
But he scared of water and he can't swim.
Nice, really good, CC. So CC, I started you with 3 sentences. Can you write maybe 5 more sentences for your homework?
Yes, teacher.
Nice.
Continue this paragraph.
Yeah, this is the other one. We had George, so let's forget about George. I want you guys to pick your own paragraphs. And so, yeah, continue about John if you want to do John.
Yes.
Thanks. And then just finish it. You can say what happens, how he is able to stop being afraid of water or something would be a great story, CC.
Yes.
Draffy, let's go to you. Draffy, pick me a character. What character are you interested in? It can be anything, except the dog who flew by the window.
No, the cow flew by the window.
Oh, it was a cow. It's much bigger, Draffy, so that typhoon has to be much stronger, you know. Mr. Draffy, who are you interested in? Give us a character, a Draffy character. Because you do write very nice stories, Mr. Draffy. Are you there, Draffy? Draffy is a thinking person. He really likes to think about this. All right. I love when you think, Draffy. Let me think about this.
I think that the flying cow.
You really
can
want to
be
do the flying cow? All right. Crazy fantasy story. And what does this cow do, Draffy? Can it control its flying, or does the typhoon just keep pushing it?
It can come to the moon if it's or the cake on the moon and then come back to the earth, be the normal cow.
Okay, wait, what does it do at the moon? On the moon, what does it do?
The cake, the moon.
It can take the moon
Yes,
and take it.
take it into the earth.
Oh, take it back to the earth. Okay. Do you think that's a good idea? What do you think? All right. Hui, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hui, what would you like to write about? What character?
Um, m- m- Michael.
Michael, okay. And tell us about Michael.
He's
Michael, he loves his.
he loves to have a cat, but his parents don't allow him.
Oh, very
does-
nice.
Don't allow him to.
Uh-huh. Why don't they want a cat?
Because they think it will make the house dirty.
Yeah. Good. So do you want to put an interesting change in the story? Like he gets a secret cat?
Yeah.
Okay. One day, Michael decides to secretly get a cat. This is very good, Hui. So if you can finish it, like Cece said, do you want me to finish this? Yes, yes, please finish it with 5 or 6 really good sentences. I think you guys can do it. You have good story starters, you guys, really nice. So all you have to do is just tell how they work with the problem and your story is done. But Draffy, I'm still worried about that cow pulling the moon back to the earth. Okay. Min, who are you interested in? Mr. Min Nguyen, Hong Min Nguyen. So Hong Min. Are you there? Hey, Hong Min, how are you? You know, Hong Min, I had a student from Korea named Hong Min. Hong Min Park, I think was his name. Okay, so Hong Min, what are you interested in? Give us a character.
Tim.
Tim? Is that right, Tim?
Yes.
Okay, is he primary or secondary or an adult?
Secondary.
Okay, he is a secondary school. And what's his problem?
He don't good at any subject.
He isn't good at any subject. So that's like the story of Holden Caulfield. I'm laughing because in the story of Holden Caulfield I told you guys about, Holden gives his history teacher his final report before Christmas time, and the teacher gives him an F because it's so bad. In the report, he said, oh, the Egyptians had a lot of pyramids and they were interesting people. And it's just almost nothing that he's writing about, right? So he is, sorry here, Min, he isn't good at any subject. So, Min, does he try to get better?
He tried to get better many times, but he can't get better.
Okay. Are his mother and father angry? Or his teachers?
His mother
Yeah, his mother. What does she do?
and his father.
Okay, his father. Does he try to help him or does he just get angry? White him. Fuchs said white him.
Pamper him.
His father what?
His father
Yeah. What does his father do?
was pamper him.
What does he do, Min? His father. His father. Something him. What do you think? You could write it pamper. Yeah, Hongmin, I thought you said pamper. Okay. Do you think that's good or bad? It's pampering. Does it make more problems?
No,
Okay.
it don't take many problems.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Min, I wrote this. For your homework, Min, you could maybe write 3 more sentences, 4 more sentences. They try something different. And so you can decide, what do they try that's different? Okay.
And then
You want me to write it? Your homework's almost done, Min.
then they try to buy for him many books about all of his subject.
Okay. Okay, so tell me if the books work or not, but do that for homework, Min. You have to write this for homework because I have to move on. I want to find out what Fook has to say. Fook, what is this wiped him? Fook, what do you mean by wiped him?
Like, wiped him out of the house.
Wiped him like, get out of the house. Your grades are really bad. or the dog who is blowing through the window. Hey, Fook, give us a character, Fook, and then we can talk about your character. We have a few more minutes today.
My character is Jack.
Nice. And tell us about Jack.
He had a very big problem. He's afraid of the color white.
Oh my gosh. This is really interesting. And so he hates white. What does that do? How does it change his life? Can he go to school? Or can he?
Every time he sees the color white,
Yeah.
he jumped out and his heart almost fall. Like almost stop beating.
Yeah. Serious? Do you know anyone like that?
No.
Okay, it's an interesting story. His heart stops beating. So how does he work with this problem, Fook?
He told his parents to give him a lot of amount of money to paint the world in white. And then everyone in his town thinks he is so crazy that they think he is not a normal person.
Okay. Very good, Fook.
Then one day his mom had a newspaper about now doctor could delete a color out of their child's eyes.
Uh-huh. Nice. All right, I'll tell you what. You have almost the story finished. Can you write 2 or 3 more sentences, Fook, and then you'll have a great story.
Yes.
Okay, great. So far, you guys, I worked with Cece. She told me the story of John. The flying cow was Mr. Draffy. Then someone did a great story about Michael and the cat. Really nice starting stories, you guys. Then someone told me the story of Tim. He's the secondary student who is trying to get better. That's Min. And then finally, Fook told this great story about a guy who's really afraid of the color white. So you guys have great story starters. Nice, 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 nice. Do you think you can give me about 3 or 4 more sentences to finish these stories? Probably. Okay, I think you can do it, you guys. So that's your homework for next week. Finish these stories. I'll put that in the Zalo thing. So if your mother or father asks, what's your homework? You say, I have to finish the story that I started. But for students like Tintin and Pham and Kuang, we didn't have time or Tom. So if you could just start the story from the beginning, just remember, pick a character, tell us the name and what problem does this character have. And make sure you do what Fook did. He said there are stories, there are small details of what other people think about the character, which is really good, Fook. You say that people in the village think he's crazy. Okay. Nice, nice. Great work, you guys. You understand how to do this, so I'm really happy. You guys did a great class tonight. Even if you guys are a little bit quiet, you do really good work. You know that? Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, so can I say good night to all of you guys? It's Saturday night, and I know you probably want to do other things. I'm going to say good night, Dot. Nice work tonight, Dot.
Good night, teacher.
Good night, Fook. Bye-bye, Min.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye-bye, Draffy.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, Tintin. Bye-bye, Tom.
Goodbye, teacher.
See you, Draffy. Bye-bye.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.